Hello everyone, I'm here today to talk to you about the current shift in the telecommunications market and the severe threat that traditional telecom operators are under from the new wave of cloud, collaboration and unified communications. So this topic is specifically relevant to the world we live in today due to the COVID-19 threat, as the move to cloud is being drastically accelerated and decreases the time to adapt that telcos thought they had. So telcos today face a significant threat in the world due to a mix of technology, business modules, and consumer habits being disrupted by extremely well-funded internet companies that can, in just a matter of a couple of years, build monopolies and actually empires across the globe. So most telcos are scrambling to keep up, as they have done significant investment in the past and in hard technologies, and are now under a lot of pressure to keep investing in new stuff like 5G and IoT without any prior knowledge to whether they will be able to keep their client base in the near future, thus paying off the significant investments done and needed to be done. So telcos are seeing their traditional markets being assaulted from every angle. For example, in the enterprise segment, where they once reigned supreme within the PBX space, they are now competing with dozens of software as a service offers, from big companies like Microsoft, Slack, and Google, and also small companies, new startups. And the edge they had before is rapidly fading away as people are using data as a new transport for voice. So Ernst & Young says that digital services are the top priority for telco leaders, yet generating growth from these services remains a challenge. We can see clearly that in this survey done to the top telecom decision makers, 71% of respondents said that digital business models and services is their leading strategic priority, and most of this is just referring to cloud and software. So Ernst & Young goes on to state that one of the major challenges is the inability to scale internal digital transformation initiatives, claiming that many operators are launching a multi-year digital transformation program, yet their research shows that these projects face significant barriers. And not the least are the burden of legacy IT platforms and a lack of digital skills. So most respondents state that AI and robotic process automation, alongside with cloud computing and big data, are the most relevant technologies that are now emerging. And they see that these two big verticals are probably going to have a huge impact on their business. Today, the biggest areas of investment for a telco are, IoT, 5G, SD-WAN, and also AI. And for GoContact, this last bit is very important, as telcos seem to fit customer service and contact center inside the AI, cloud computing, big data buckets. So what does this look like from a telco startup perspective? So, my company GoContact is, like a new age telco. We have our feet firmly planted on telecommunications world, but we do have our head way up in the clouds. So we can summarize what we do to adding value on top of telecommunications, as we provide a contact center platform as a service, meaning that you get a full contact center suite with cloud hosting and telecommunications included without any upfront and for a monthly usage fee. So we actually require all the infrastructure that a traditional telco provides, SIP trunks, networks, data centers, etc. And we add software on top of that to make everything that is supporting that software more valuable. So customers decide to buy from us the whole package, because that is what cloud means, right? So you buy software and infrastructure wrapped together. Both are indistinguishable from each other, and if you can't provide both, then you are probably not an option for the future. Companies like Twilio are able to sell a phone call sometimes at 10x the price of a normal carrier, just because they added an API to the stack. So we witness every day as customers turn to us because they are looking for an expert in the space, but actually an expert in the solution rather than an expert in the infrastructure, as they know that telcos can be just the enabler for this. But don't get me wrong, this is not a presentation to simply dismiss the role of telcos in the new era of business. Despite the fact that I firmly believe that there are real threats, I also know that telecom companies are a force to be reckoned with. We have the fortune of doing business with big telecom companies every day, and we have that as a core strategy at GoContact. There are numerous advantages in doing business with them, and I believe if they focus on their strengths, most of them will continue to be extremely relevant and successful in the future. We can start by realizing that most telcos have excellent access to corporate and enterprise buyers as they sell to them for many, many years now. They have incredible brands and reputation and have been around for so long that other big companies know that they can trust their longevity. Can the same be said for the new hot startup? It's very hard. They already have all the underlying infrastructure needed to serve corporate and enterprise projects, including the type of private connections like layer 2 and layer 3 that customers keep demanding to authorize projects that include sensitive data. Customer service and contact center projects are just an example of this. So telcos already have existing relationships with most enterprise buyers in a given market, and they can leverage those relationships, the branding, the negotiation skills, and the infrastructure to help accelerate a go-to-market strategy. So what has been our experience working with telcos? So we decided a couple of years ago that we would try and do strategic partnership with big telecom companies to drive our go-to-market strategy. As we understand that synergies between our contact center platform as a service offer and their core strengths are huge. Okay, so at GoContact, we need data centers. We can do it on public or private cloud, but we do need data centers. We need to connect to the PSTN. We need to have internet access. We need layer 2, layer 3 private connections. We need access to enterprise or corporate buyers. And as a startup, we need to build up our brand with credibility, right? So a big telecom company, an incumbent, can provide for all of this out of the box. In turn, we, as a hot startup, can give back to the telco as we can help them get into a space that is usually not their natural space. For example, contact centers. But that can drive a lot of revenue in their core business, phone calls. We can also help them position themselves on a more innovative front, being able to bring a strong cloud software as a service offering to the market and enabling them to have more business in their current customer base, or even reaching new customers that they were not previously able to. So we started this journey with NOS in Portugal, which currently has market share of around 36%. And we learned that with the right strategy, this is a big win-win for all. In the first year of operations, we were able to do more than 20 enterprise projects together, enabling NOS to be a presence in the contact center market and have a say on every big project done in Portugal. Since then, we started working with MásMóvil and Orange in Spain, applying everything we learned from our previous experience with NOS and seeing the same kind of success in the new market. We are now open and willing to work with other telecom companies in other countries, as we see that this is a huge opportunity for us and for them as well, as we are unlocking deep synergies that have a perfect market fit in the corporate or enterprise segments. Okay, so what does our go-to-market strategy look like? Telcos have been doing this kind of strategic partnerships for a long time now. This is not new, and most of them actually fail pretty badly as telcos, like any other big company, are mostly focused on their core business, and that is enough. it's hard to build a successful partnership, especially between big companies and smaller companies. What we saw from the beginning is that with the right go-to-market strategy, we can play to their strengths and don't become a burden to them. We need them to do what they know best, open the door on enterprise accounts and provide infrastructure and telecommunications. So most of the deals we do look something like this. So our partner opens the door, or they are already in the customer. They add credibility to the process with their brand, their reputation, and their reliability. Then we are presented with, like the expert in the room for that vertical, specifically contact center. So when it comes to contact center and software as a service, we drive the pre-sales, letting the customer know that we mean business and are extremely focused on the project, on the project itself, and not just getting the sale done. Of course, that all the infrastructure and telecommunications is coming from our telco partner, and that is their main upside, right? But this is seen as a strength from the enterprise buyer perspective, as they are already familiar with doing business with telcos and know their business models. When we do the project, so deployment, training, rolling out, etc. And then, we keep managing the day-to-day needs of the customer, when it comes to the contact center platform. We feel that, this hybrid approach plays to both our strengths. The GoContact and Telco partner, we put the best of both worlds on the table. And the customer can take advantage of this. So it's actually like a triple win situation, wrapping this up, it's easy to make the case that telecom companies are under a huge threat. And indeed, there is some risk on the horizon, but to be honest, if they look at cloud, if they look at startups as an opportunity, they probably have the best position to take advantage of these opportunities. So startups, whether they are selling to enterprise or to the consumer, they need access to markets, they need infrastructure, they need brand credibility. Telcos can provide all of that and can take advantage of the disruption in many industries, as they are historically used to being present in all industries and remain an extremely relevant key player in enabling other companies to execute their strategies. So in the end, we can never guess what the future holds, but as our recent experience shows, we believe that there is a huge opportunity in these kind of strategic partnerships, and we feel that we will see more of them in the future. Okay, so thank you everyone for your time. Feel free to drop me an email if you have any questions, and enjoy the rest of that summit. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.